Now that we have all the grades stored in this list, we need to create a variable that adds all those elements together, and um, let's just display it on the console for now. How do we do that? Create a new variable. Let's call it total, and you'll set it equal to 0 for now. Make a for loop again, and then from I equals 0, y0. Let me just finish this and I'll explain why. All the way up to I is less than 18, I plus plus, and then the curly brackets. Right, y0, because right now we're gonna iterate over the elements of the list that we have, over the array that we have, the grades, and it's just how programming languages work. They don't like to start counting from one. They count from zeros, especially when you're working on lists and arrays. So the first element of a list is normally indexed with the number 0. So why we started 1 here is that's just because we want to display the grade 1, the element that has the ID grade 1. But now that we want to go over the elements in the list, in that list there, the first element starts with the index 0, and then all the way up to 18, not including 18 because well, it starts from 0, so it obviously has to finish 17. That's one less than 18, and um, every time we loop through this for loop, we're gonna add the current value of that element in that list to the total. I know it's quite hard. Sorry if you don't understand it. I'll try to explain it more now. So that plus equals, as we said before, this is gonna add whatever's after it to the current total, and this will be grades, and then in those square brackets we're gonna have the current I. So we can see the list here, grades, that's the list. The indexing start from 0, so that's the 0th element, that's the 1th element, that's the 2th element, not the first, second. So the first is this, second is this, obviously third is this. But the way programming languages work is that this is indexed 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and all the way up to 17, of course, not 18, because we started with 0. So the way we access a certain element of that list is that we put the name of the list there, the array, the name of the array. Sorry if I'm using the word list instead of array. I'm just used to it. JavaScript use the word array. So that array there, we take the ith index of that grade, and then we add it of that list, and then we add it to the total. Let me display the total at the end of that for loop. So console.log, and then we display the total here. Let me print that out. Oh, what happened there? Right, it did go through that for loop 18 different times, and it did start the total from 0 there, and then every time it looped through, it added the new item of that list there. It added the current item to that total, but it looks like it added them. It just sticked them together. It didn't add them as integers. Why did that happen? That's because we have those elements as strings. They're not numbers. JavaScript doesn't understand that those are numbers. Those are just normal characters there. And the way it adds characters together is that it just sticks them together. Um, in order to make that um, to make the total a number displayed as a number, and we should either um, we should have done those as numbers really without those quotes, like 8 straight away there without the quote. But since we already have those quotes, I don't know, hundreds of times now, um, we're just gonna look for a method that converts the string to an integer. So I'm not an expert, so I'm gonna look for it online. Um, int to string, string to int in JavaScript. How do you convert a string to an integer using in the JavaScript programming language? As we can see here in W3 schools, all those examples are using one method, which is called, I don't know what that is. Let's copy that and then paste it in there. Let's put that grade I as an argument for this method. So this line again, what is it doing? It's taking the current total and then it's adding to it the integer of the current element of that list. So the ith item, if we said I 0 the first time it loops through, so grade 0 is the element that has the index 0 in that list, and that is there. 8, it's a string, so it converts it using this method to an integer, and then it's adding that number there to the total, and then at the end we display that total there. Let's save that, see if it works. I hope it does. There you have it, 146, and that is the sum of all those numbers there. Right, something we need to mention here before we carry on. Where's that? Oh, there it is. Because we're having the values as 7, 8, 9 instead of 70, 80, 90, the total that we will have will be in between those numbers there, but without a 0 obviously. It will be 100 something. So that's not going to be a big problem, because we can if we had them as 90, 80 and 70, that will be in the thousands after you add them all. But because we have them in as 987, it'll be without the 0 there. And so in the dictionary we're just going to take off that 0 there, and then for the keys, and the values will be the same as here. Sorry, 1 second.